Record. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to be doing the coach charges for about this week and then 2 more weeks, and then the team's going to start taking them back over, and leaders within Team Thrive are going to start sharing again, which has kind of been the goal, but I stopped for a little bit because there's some really important stuff, like with this discount coach stuff that I wanted to share with the downline, Instagram that I wanted to share with the downline, and things of that nature. So I'm not going to promise, but I'm going to say probably it'll be this one plus 2 more that I'll do. And then I'm going to turn these back over to the team to be able to start cranking them out and share with you their tips, their things they've learned, things that have made their business awesome sauce. And I think it's going to be really amazing stuff. So if you didn't watch last week, what was last week about? Beachbody On Demand, 10% discount going away, and the opportunity for you to invite those people to become a discount coach, okay? And I gave so much information last week that I wanted this week to just kind of dumb it down and just talk about the discount coach situation, okay? I don't even want to talk about that, Beachbody On Demand, 10% discount going away, and those people. Yes, those are awesome, but this goes for, like, I just want to talk about what the discount coach option is, because for some time we use this a lot because the 10% discount on Beachbody On Demand was like not an issue. Well, since we haven't been using it, it's not in our trainings. It's not in the Team Thrive Academy. We don't teach it anymore. So I wanted everybody to know about it. I want to give you my lingo so that you know how to talk to people about it. And I really just want to get everybody up to speed on how you can utilize the ability to get people signed up as a discount coach to move your business forward as placeholders. And very important before I say anything else, the word discount coach is not a technical Beachbody term. So if you were to call into Beachbody, into coach relations and say, I have a discount coach, something, discount coach, I don't know where that got made up and who made it up or where it came from. It's a term that is just accepted across the board, even from corporate, but it's not a technical term. You will not find this term in the policies and procedures of Beachbody. It is just a human being who becomes a coach and receives the same discount that you get. They have no obligation to coach anyone, but they have an account themselves, which means they do have websites. They do have the ability, and I will say that some of our best coaches on our team started as discount coaches and then got the courage to eventually become a working business building coach, which is so amazing. So I first want to kind of backtrack and say, who is this discount coach option for? Okay, so like I don't have a slide for that, but I am going to say, who is this discount option for? Well, remember, it's for anybody, honest to goodness, that's on a continuity program, meaning anything on Home Direct. So if they're on the Performance line, if they're on Shakeology, if they're on Daily Sunshine, if they're on anything that is where they get it on a monthly basis, then this is something that they want to partake in. If somebody is not planning to be on Shakeology or get Daily Sunshine for themselves or their kids or be on the Performance line, then honestly, I'm not going to introduce this to them yet until it's an option that they want to look into, because they're going to be on a program, on a product that is continuity. So who it's for is for anybody that comes into the system as a customer and I always say, like, if they plan to be on Shakeology for more than 3 months, I don't say this to them, do you know what I mean? But in my head, I'm like, if it's somebody who's going to be on Shakeology for at least 3 months, I don't ever say a whole year. Yeah, if they decide to go this discount coach option, they're going to save about $200 over the course of the year. So that's awesome. Do you know what I mean? But they will save, I always say, every little bit helps. Do you know what I mean? It's every little bit counts. So even if they're only saving, $60 or whatever the case may be, that is helpful for anybody's budget. So I always present this opportunity to somebody who's a customer who then continues on with their Shakeology. So we'll talk about that a little bit. So when to explain the discount coach option. I'm not talking about what we talked about last week, because last week is a separate incident. If somebody watches this and is watching this a year later, what I talked about last week with the Beachbody On Demand does not apply. obviously. So yes, if you watched last week, you could put into this category the person who's on Beachbody On Demand and they've been receiving the 10% discount and the 10% discount's going away. Therefore, you need to explain to them the discount coach option. Well, we're just talking about somebody starting from scratch, okay? There's 2 ways to go about it, but really 3, but I'm just gonna explain it. Initial sign up. For example, if you, and I only say initial sign up, when you're getting somebody signed up for the very first time, I strongly suggest let them be a customer, okay? This is just me. Unless 2 things, you're going for emeralds and it's a close family member it's a close family member, a husband, a mom, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, your best friend, somebody like that you have a really, really, really close relationship with who trusts you. And you say, hey, I want you to have your own account, and we'll talk about how to explain it in a little bit. But I really think we need to get you in the system as what we call a discount coach right out the gate. I would normally just have you as a customer, but I want you to be able to be set up right out the gate. So if it's somebody that you really have trust and rapport with, go for it on the initial sign up. But for me, and if you have a goal to be emeralds and move your rank forward, go for it on the initial sign up. Okay, so what I'm about to talk you through. But the easiest way to do it with somebody that is like truly a challenger, it may not be somebody that's super duper uber close to you, right? They maybe saw your Facebook post, you invited them, whatever the case may be. Doing it before the second shipment of their home direct, their performance line, their Shakeology, could be Daily Sunshine, but doing it before their second shipment comes feels more natural for a lot of people, okay? I don't care how you do it. And obviously, if you have customers right now who you've not presented this to, they count. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if somebody decides they don't want to do it, they're not ready for it after the second shipment, does that mean you never talk to them about it again? No. Like if they're continuing to purchase Shakeology at full price, you bet 3 months later I'm probably going to reach back out and be like, hey, I just wanted to remind you that you can still get that same discount that I get on Shakeology. It's no big deal if it's not something you're interested in, but I wanted to remind you that it's there. So you can always follow up with them. This is just the initial, like the first time that you talk to them about the opportunity to do this, okay? So I wanted to break this down. Please, no, I don't give scripts. Do you know what I mean? I used to, and then I realized they don't work. Because like all of you guys, every single person that you're going to talk to is different. Every single one of you, the way you talk to people is different. So there's no point in me giving you a script of what to say. Here's exactly what to say to somebody to get them to sign up as a discount coach. But I do kind of have a process. So, and I do it in 4 different messages at least. Now, you can do this in 1 phone call, for goodness sakes, if you wanted to. Do you know what I mean? And that's fine too. But if you can't, if you're doing it on a phone call, awesome, do it all at one time. If you're doing it in Messenger and you do it all at one time, they will not sign up. I swear to goodness, I'm telling you right now. So if you're on the phone with them and you're talking them through it, you could really give them more oomph because they have the ability to ask you questions right then and there. But if you're doing it through Messenger, remember what I always teach you. Breadcrumb the information. Do not give it to them all at once. It will make their heads explode. They'll see the message and then will never respond to you. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And it's because you word vomited the discount coach opportunity to them, okay? So first and foremost, you see if they're interested. If it is the initial sign up, obviously you're seeing if they're interested. The same, which is like, hey, I really, really, really like to get you in the system as what we call a discount coach. So A, you have your own account. B, you get the same discount that I get. And C, it just makes this a really easy transition when your next bag of Shakeology comes out. Would that be okay? Again, that would be with somebody, and remember this is recorded. I will tell you, I actually have this printed out. Michael Corsentino, I did a new coach camp call, Q&A, and he asked me about discount coaching probably a year ago or so. And after the call was over, it's recorded, he played it back and he typed out this script. I actually asked him for it. He was like, what did I tell you? Because it obviously works. Can you just give it to me? So he typed it out. And so I challenge you to go in and type out the words that make sense to you so that you can kind of be like, oh, that's what she said. Don't try to write it all down really fast right now. Go back and rewatch this and type it out so that you're like, oh yeah, and you have it in your notes, okay? But first you have to see if they're interested. So you have to see if somebody's interested, if they're really close to you on the initial one. But I'm going to specifically talk about somebody who has made the initial challenge pack purchase. Okay. Again, who is this for? Somebody could do it if they didn't sign up for a challenge pack. Okay. They most definitely could. They could pay the $39.95 fee and then just get Shakeology or just get Daily Sunshine. But I always say that that person has to be the person like my father who vowed to be on it for a year. He didn't get a challenge pack. He just paid the $39.95 and then he got Shakeology discounted for that whole year. And he ended up saving over like $240 or something like that. So, which is awesome. Do you know what I mean? But if they're not planning to be on Shakeology for the long haul and they didn't purchase the challenge pack, it's not as much bang for their buck to do this. So I always say if they've got a challenge pack and they purchased it, what we do is about 3 weeks from the date they purchased. So they purchase it, and then I put in my calendar 3 weeks later. Some people do 20 days later. You can figure out the sweet spot, but you gotta give yourself an alarm that reminds you to reach out to this person X amount of days. I say 3 weeks because then that gives you 1 week to talk to them before their Shakeology ships again. Okay, their Shakeology ships every 4 weeks or the same day. So if today is, what is today's date? The 20th of August. That means the 20th of September. They're going to get charged for Shakeology again or their home direct. So you've got to give yourself enough time before their next shipment. So you decide that date. And then on that date, you see if they're interested. And all you've got to say is your next bag of Shakeology is coming. Okay. Obviously, you have the choice whether to continue with it or not. But I want you to know that I can get you the exact same discount that I get as a coach on Shakeology if you need it. Notice I didn't say discount coach. Notice I didn't say become a coach. That would scare them off. It says I can get you the exact same discount that I get as a coach if you need it. And they go like, yeah, I would like to do that. Yes, that would be nice. What do I need to do? Well, what's my next step? So you've got to see if they're interested. Again, watch this back. You can type that out. But you just got to see if they're interested. And if they say no, you leave the open door. No biggie. And just say, well, awesome. That's totally fine. If they say they don't want to do Shakeology, they're going to cancel it for the next month or whatever the case may be. But most of the time they'll say, yes, send me more information. Okay. And if they do, you then explain what it means. Now, all of you are going to explain this a little different. I'm going to give you my way of explaining it, obviously, but you guys have to kind of find your words with it. What I say is like with the challenge pack, the fee that I had to pay is waived, which is super awesome. So I'm gonna make sure you understand that. As a coach, typically you have to pay the $39.95 fee, right? So for me, I didn't have a challenge pack option, so I can say this. For me, I paid $39.95 to become a coach and then had to purchase stuff afterwards. So I say with the challenge pack, the fee that I had to pay as a coach is waived for you, which is super awesome. You can start it however you want. The fee that you would have to pay to receive this discount is super awesome, or is covered, is waived because you bought the challenge pack, which is super awesome. So we can get you in the system with what we call a discount coach account. I say it, but not in the first message, in the second. And I say, now I don't want to freak you out because we're going to have, and you're going to laugh at me, this is a Texas thing. I don't want to freak you out because we're going to have to go the back road scenic route. I've said that seriously for 5 years, the back road scenic route. I don't know why, figure out your own way of saying it, but I say to get you in the system and get set up with your own account. And the reason why I say that is because the back road scenic route means they got to click the word coach and they have to click the word become a coach. That's scary to people. They're like, I don't want to be a coach. You know what I mean? So when I say we have to go the back road scenic route to get you in the system, it sets you up for the ability to say, like, you're going to have to click that coach button. So for me, I'm like, okay, so we're going to have to go the back road scenic route a little bit to get you in the system. But the system doesn't know how to, I talked about this last week. The system does not know how to distinguish between myself working the business and my father being a coach for simply the discount on Shakeology. The system doesn't know how to distinguish between. I talked about that last week. When I'm explaining it, a couple of the things are, I talk about the fee being waived because they've got a challenge pack, right? The fee is going to be refunded. And on top of that, I don't want to freak you out, but you are going to have to go the back road scenic route to get in the system. But the reason why is because the system doesn't know how to distinguish between me as a coach, and I always use a family member. Use your husband, use your mom, use your sister, use somebody that you know that's on Shakeology, okay, that wouldn't be a working coach. Remember what I told you last week also. If, very important, big if you have nobody in your life that's on Shakeology, then you say, it would be like my father signing up as a coach. You don't want to lie. Just say, it'd be like my dad signing up as a coach. He's not going to work the business, but he could get the same discount that I get. So you don't have to say that he is. My dad obviously was. But you can say it in that you got to give some reference, okay, of you versus somebody else, okay? And then, at the end of it, I just simply say, I'm literally looking at my script. He didn't work the business at all, but he has an account, so he can get the same 25% discount that I got. So I'm going to take you through the same process I took him through. So do you see how it's like we're getting the fee that I had to pay waived, right? I don't want you to freak out. We are going to have to go the back road scenic routes to get you in the system, but the system doesn't know how to distinguish between my father, who's a discount coach, just getting a Shakeology, 25% off, and me as a coach working the business. So I'm going to take you through the same steps that I took him through or her through or whatever. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thank you. That's so great. Okay. So again, that's all I explained. I didn't say that there's a $39.95 fee. I didn't say that we'd have to fill out a form. I didn't say any of that stuff. I just gave them an overview so that they would say yes again. So we're trying to see if they're interested, get them to say yes. Explain what it means in a small amount so that they can handle it, and then get them to say yes. And then you get them into the system. And by getting them into the system, you have to, I send them the steps to sign up as a coach. So whether that be using Coach Mobile, okay, going to Coach Mobile, putting in their email address, but they've already got an account. I guess you could use Coach Mobile. Get them signed up as a coach without a purchase. There's a button on Coach Mobile that says sign up without a purchase. You click that and they can become a coach just for the $39.95 fee. Okay, so you're either going to sign them up through Coach Mobile, or you can send them the step-by-steps to go through your site. Okay, either way, you've got to get them in, just like you signed up. You got to get them in the system as a real coach. But I'm just putting it out there. You've got to preface this. If you just send them Coach Mobile and say, okay, I've sent you the form, go fill it out. Or if you just send them the steps, okay, awesome. Go to beachbodycoach.com/screen, click coach, click become a coach, fill in the prompts. Oh my gosh, they're going to panic. They're going to panic if there's not a preface it as to what getting in the system looks like. Okay, so I always tell them, I'll either send them an audio, which is the easiest thing for me, but if you're sending them the steps in a message, have a paragraph at the top that explains what's about to happen. If you send them Coach Mobile, don't send it to them yet till you have this conversation. And it's just simply like, I'm going to be sending you the steps, but don't worry. And I always repeat myself, but don't worry. The system's not going to be able to distinguish between me as a coach and you. So you are going to have to click the coach button. You are going to have to say, yes, I want to become a coach. But I don't want you to think that there's ever any obligation to do it the way I do it. Just remember that, okay? So here are the steps. Get in the system, and I send them the sign up. I just coddle them like crazy and make sure that they know that by clicking the word coach does not mean that they've got to coach another human being, okay? They need reassurance in this moment, okay? And then you send them the steps. Now, in between 3 and 4, they may come back to you and say, I don't want to put in my social security number. And if that's the case, what I say is, I've never had any issues with Beachbody. I've had people who are private detectives. I have had all kinds of amazing, ridiculously awesome people go in as a discount coach and not care that they're putting their social in. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, by all means, we can keep you at the customer place. But they just need the social because you have an account like I have an account. I explained to them, you have an account like I have an account. I earn an income. This is my business. But for you, it's just a discount coach account that allows you to receive the same discount that I get. So it's no big deal. If you don't feel comfortable with it, then I completely understand. But I have tons of people who do it. And you may say, but there's tons of people on our team who do it, and we've had no issues with it. But it's all about your comfort level. So, but I'll be honest, not that many people, for me, have rebutted it, okay? Because it's a trust factor, and I see Carrie shaking her head. It's a trust factor. They trust me. Do you know what I mean? So if these people trust you and know that you have their best interest at hand, they'll do it, and it's no big deal because they've heard you say it numerous times. The system doesn't know how to distinguish between me as a working coach doing this as a business and my father. And my father does it, and he obviously went through the same process and put in his social. And if Alli lets her father go in as a discount coach, then I'm sure she's going to take care of me too. So there hasn't ever really been any issues. There is every once in a while, though, so don't be alarmed if somebody's like, no, I don't want to do it. You say, no big deal. Stay in as a customer, and then it's A-okay. I completely am on your side with whatever you decide to choose. So that's the only hitch in the get up that I usually see there. Remember, when it comes to here's what it looks like, you're going to have to say, once they go, okay, I'm going to go fill out the steps, blah, blah, blah. Once they get in, you've got to say you're going to have to pay the $39.95 fee. So like I say this after I send them the steps. That's just me. I don't say, here's the steps, you're paying a $39.95 fee, you're filling out a form, and then from there, like I don't do any of that. I just say, here are the steps. And when I say, let me know when you think you can get this done so I can go in and double check it for you. When they respond back to me, I say, okay, and just to let you know, here's what it's going to look like. You're going to have to pay a $39.95 fee, but don't freak out. As soon as, I always say don't freak out, that's just my thing. But as soon as the system recognizes that you bought a challenge pack, they refund it. So that's it. You bought a challenge pack, I'll fill out the form. I fill out the form on their behalf. If you don't know the form, just Google it. Beachbody, challenge pack reimbursement form or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure if you just Google Beachbody, challenge pack reimbursement, the form would appear. And you could fill out the form for them. But I just say, and I'll fill out the form and get that refunded. Awesome. I should have a step 5. So I'm just going to say this. Then once they do it, here's what it looks like again. Because once they're official, then I say, okay, here's what it's going to look like in the system. So I have like a constant message thread going with them. They've told me they've done it. I go in, I double check and make sure they're good to go. I send in their form. I tell them I've sent their form in. And then I just simply say, okay, now I've got to tell you what it's going to look like coming out of your bank account. Because it's going to look like the same thing for you as it does for me. Your Shakeology's dropped to $90-something, which is freaking awesome, right? Your shipping's going to be $2, so you're going to have that one order. But you're also going to see a second charge for 15-ish bucks, okay? Now notice, for this whole time, I really haven't been telling them they get a 25% discount. I've been saying they get the same discount that I get because I think that's very misleading, and I don't like it. They don't get a 25% discount. They get the same discount I get. So, and I don't know what the discount is when you add back in the $15.95, and I'm not going to do the numbers. I'm just going to tell them they get the same discount I get. So you'll see when we get to this 5th, here's what it looks like. They've officially done it. That's when I say, here's what it's going to look like coming out of your account. You're going to also see a $15.95 fee. When you put the two together, the $15.95 fee and the 90-something for Shakeology, guess what? You're still saving over $20 a month from when you would if you were a customer. But because you're in as a coach, there's a coach fee that activates the discount, and then there's your actual Shakeology. So I just wanted you to be aware that there's going to be 2 charges coming out, and if you have any questions on that, let me know. So I give it to them in these breadcrumbs. I just don't give it to them all at one time because it's super overwhelming. I love, obviously me, I love my audios on Facebook right now. I just am a Facebook audio person, just 1 minute, and you know what's cool is I try to get what I want to say into 1 minute, man. I love it. I'm like, just get it in one, and sometimes it takes me 2. But like to see if they're interested, I get it in 1 minute. When I'm trying to explain what it means, my goal is to get it in 1 minute, okay? When I'm getting into the system, I either, I'm going to explain to it what it is and then send them the steps in a separate message typed out. Or send them the steps through Coach Mobile. Here's what it looks like. I try to get it in 1 minute. So I'm trying to not overwhelm them with like 55 million audios. So that's why I say maybe take this, print it out. Michael may be so awesome to post his Evernote that he's got in the comments so that you guys can use what he has to explain it. But at the end of the day, you've got to breadcrumb the information to them and not overwhelm them by saying all of it at one time. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Is that helpful? I hope that helps. A little bit. Remember the reason why you'd want to do this. I think this is, I'm going to stop my share real quick so we can see everybody's face. And then by all means, if you have specific questions on this, type them into the chats. But I will say this. The reason why we do this is probably twofold, but I may have more than that. I say twofold because right now in my head, there's 2 reasons, but there may be 3 by the time I finish. 1, it offers up the ability for somebody like my girl Samantha, who wants to continue with Shakeology but needs a little help. She's a school teacher. She's got 2 kids, and every little bit financially helps her. Okay, she's not ready to be a coach yet, but I want to at least extend the opportunity for her to be able to get a discount. She bought a challenge pack. It makes sense, right? Especially now that Beachbody On Demand is releasing that 10% discount. It makes sense for me to at least invite her to this. She gets to decide if she feels comfortable, if she wants to do it. That's on her. My job as the coach is to at least suggest it, right? So the first thing is just helping out your friends. You're still going to receive volume, and we're going to move this forward, and we'll talk about the second reason. There's still going to be benefits to it for you. Just saying. But for them, it's beneficial to them because they're going to save almost $20 per bag of Shakeology. So giving them that option. The second is for you, because to build a business, a diamond business, which every single one of your goals should be to get to diamond by the end of the year. I'm just saying it's doable for every single person on this call. All of you. It's 8 lives. 8. 2 of which want to help other people change their lives. So really, it's 6 customers that you explain this discount opportunity to, right? 6 customers that you get into the system, you get them into your challenge groups, they fall in love with what we're doing, they're like, this is so amazing, and then you present the opportunity to become a discount coach before their second bag. Voila! You get them in the system as a discount coach, and you find 2 other people who are just as passionate about this as you are. They've been following your journey, they're in the groups, and then you help them bring on people as well. Boom. It's that simple. It's that simple. All of y'all could be diamond by the end of the year. Shoot, you could be diamond by the end of next month if you wanted to make that happen. Bianca and Carrie are shaking their heads. It's doable. So doable. You can't convince yourself that you're not capable. And especially right now with the leverage you have with this discount coach opportunity, it's fierce, y'all. So it's one of those moments where you gotta get comfortable. So I'm gonna challenge you to something, okay? Challenge you to 1 or 2 things, and I'll let you figure out which of the 2 you decide to do. You either need to whoever has, I don't know what to do with these Android things, you know what I mean? I don't understand an Android, but I got my iPhone, and there's a voice memo on an iPhone. I triple, double dog dare you to go through each one of those steps that I taught you and just speak it. Just speak it into the phone and try to see how long it takes you. Okay, and ask them if they're in. Imagine the person you want to talk to and just talk to the voice memo on your phone and just talk to them. And then if you really are like this, when you think you've got it down, I promise you your upline coach would listen to it because they want you to talk to people. So they'd let it play until if you sound ridiculous or if you whatever. So like say it. And you know what's cool? If it's really good, you can just take that voice memo and send it to them. You don't even have to send it to them in a Facebook message. You can send it to them via text. You can send it to them via email. If you do it in a voice memo and it's good, if your upline coach says, send it, then it's already done, okay? Then you do that with each of those 5 steps, right? Boom. I know. I can't help it right now. This is serious. I'm sweating, but I'm so serious about this right now. It's not that difficult, but you just have to do it. It's like rip the Band-Aid off. I think my cheeks are hurting because I'm smiling so much right now. But rip the Band-Aid. Just do it. Second option. If you're like, oh, shite, I don't want to talk to nobody on my phone, then you type it. Type it up. Type up the message that you would send to each one of those steps. Now remember, you have to personalize it for every person. But ask them if they're interested. Type up something and then send it to your upline. I promise. Again, they're going to be like, yeah, I'd love to help you. You know what I mean? Send it to me. I'll tell you if it sounds ridiculous or if it sounds awesome. Throw some emojis in there and then send it. Then the step 2, how would you explain to them in your way what the discount coach option is if they said they are interested? Already have it written. And don't wait to do it 2-3 weeks from now. Do it tomorrow. Do it tonight, for goodness sakes, while it's fresh on your brain. Stay up late. You know what? If you got big dreams, you'll get 30 minutes less of sleep. You can do this. Okay, I'm done. That's my thing. You either need to do these things on audio, okay? You either need to talk it out. Talk it out. Do 5 different audios, okay? Or do 5 different things. And if you can't do 5 because you're broken out, at least do the first one, okay? Do the Are You Interested? Do the Are You Interested? Just finish that tonight. Just like do it right now. And then send it to either A, just get some big kahunas and immediately send it to the people that you know you need to send it to, okay? Or B, if you're slightly nervous and you need a little, like, you know, fire under your tuchus from your upline coach, send it to them first, get the okay, and then send it to the people. I'm going to say just send it out because you're all independent Team Beachbody coaches. Our job as upline coaches isn't to hold your hand, isn't to coddle you, is to tell you, is to empower you. I believe very, very strongly that the one way to like feel the most confident is just to do it. And if you fail, you'll fix it. If you don't fail, you're like, holy crap, I just did this, and it's going to feel amazing. So that's what I got. That's what I got today. Just do it. Pull out the Nike motto. Just do it. You know what I mean? Rip the Band-Aid off and go change some lives. Do you know what I mean? Go help some people. That's our mission. Love, serve, and transform lives. So you're serving people by offering them the ability to have the discount. Okay, I'm leaving now. Yay? No? Are there questions? I should ask, are there questions? I mean, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we're good. Are we good? We're good. Drop the mic. Jennifer just said that that's what it was.
Hold on, I want to say something real fast.
Go, Bianca, go.
Okay, so Alli taught me back this sort of thing way back in like 2013. It works.
It works.
It works.
It works. Go, Carrie. Carrie's going to say she wants to talk. Unmute yourself, Chica.
So my coach Megan, homegirl, went to Summit with 2 coaches. I've taught her to offer this to her peeps, and she will be a diamond this week, y'all. Just saying.
Hello. It works. It works. So my goal is for this to get in the hands of as many people as remotely possible. So please, if you've got people on your team that need to see it, don't just tag them in the post. Take the link. There'll be a YouTube link. Take the link and send it to them in personal message and say, watch this. Tell everybody, freaking watch this. And then just do it. That's all I'm going to say. That's what I got. Okay. I love you guys. Oh, there's chats going. Should I check the chat? Okay, good. Oh, Amanda says good. Smiley face. I got smiley faces. Okay. Now I'm really out. Bye!